Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Parampar Mathi, whenever you're ready, you can start Mathi. I'll share my screen.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all dear devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayit Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So, today we are reading from chapter. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, from text 57 to text 66. Okay. Text 57. Let that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is understood by truly authorized Vedic literature and who has created peace and prosperity to destroy all calamities of the created world, be kind enough to bestow his glance upon the demigods. His merciful glance can supersede the beauty of the spotless lotus flower, which is the home of the goddess of fortune. Text 58. Maitreya said, O Vidura, thus the demigods worshipped with prayers the Supreme Personality of Godhead appearing as the sage Naranaran. The Lord glanced upon them with mercy and then departed for Gandhamadana hill. Text 59. That Naranarayana Rishi, who is a partial expansion of Krishna, has now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru in the forms of Krishna and Arjuna respectively to mitigate the burden of the world. Text 60. The predominating deity of fire begot in his wife Swaha 3 children named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi, who exist by eating the oblation offered to the fire of sacrifice. Text 61. From those 3 sons, another 45 descendants were generated, who are also fire gods. The total number of fire gods is therefore 49, including the fathers and the grandfather. Text 62. These 49 fire gods are the beneficiaries of the oblation offered in the Vedic sacrifice of fire by impersonalist brahmanas. Text 63. The Agnishvatyas, the Varhishadas, the Saumyas, and the Ajapas are the Pitas. They are either Shagnika or Niragnika. The wife of all these Pitas is Swadha, who is the daughter of the king Daksha. Text 64. Swadha, who was offered to the Pitas, begot 2 daughters named Vayuna and Dharini. both of whom were impersonalists and were expert in transcendental and Vedic knowledge. Text 65. The 16th daughter, whose name was Sati, was the wife of Lord Shiva. Sh- She could she could not produce a child, although she always faithfully engaged in the service of her husband. Text 66. The reason is that Sati's father Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva in spite of in spite of Shiva's faultlessness. Consequently, before attaining a mature age, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic mystic power. Thus ends thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of fourth canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Yeah, thank you so much, Parampa and Shamate. Sri Krishna Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you, Sundaran Prabhu. Thank you, Parama Pavani Mataji, for reading the for verses today. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripamudirtamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are seeing here the descendants of Swayambhu Manu. So very beautifully here Maitreya Rishi is elaborating each of the descendants and the significance, how actually Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in each of the daughters of Swayambhu Manu. So that's why he actually particularly Swayambhu Manu's descendants here is being described. So Akuti, and then Devahuti, Prasuti. So it's all, he named the daughters very rhythmically, and they're all very elevated with all good qualities and character. So here in this chapter, we are seeing how Akuti and Ruchi, they gave birth to Supreme Personality of Godhead Yagna, and Yagna and Dakshina, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then their descendants, 12 children born from Yagna and Dakshina, they all become demigods. And Yagna himself took the post of Lord Indra. So then, in the previous canto, we saw how Kardama Muni gave birth to 9 daughters. So those 9 daughters were married to different sages. So now Maitreya Rishi is elaborating on who are those, um, um, whom these 9 daughters were married to and their children. And in each of these pastimes that he is elaborating, we can see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is appearing in certain pastime, and he is giving emphasis over there. And then there were questions, of course, from Vidura's side, and then he is responding to those questions. So here, especially, he is describing the when these 9 daughters were given. He's especially focusing on Naranarayan Rishi, who is born to Murti. So Murti, one of the daughters. So Daksha had 16 daughters. So out of these 16 daughters, 13 daughters were given to Dharma. So one of the daughters who was given to Dharma was Murti, and she gave birth to Naranarayan Rishi. So now, so in this, from this verse 57, we'll go through. So now, after appearing, Narayana Rishi appeared. All of the demigods, they were actually glorifying the Lord's, and they were also praying for the mercy, for Lord's mercy, because the demigods are all suraganas. So here it's mentioned as suraganas. So they are all devotees of the Lord, and they are all engaged in His service. So they are praying, and they are also invoking His mercy upon them. So now from this verse 57, so the demigods are continuing to pray. Um, here they are quoting some special qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are saying here that Lord is understood through the Vedic literature. So through the Vedic literature, and Lord actually creates peace and prosperity, and He destroys all the calamities in the world. So we know that Krishna also promises in the Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. So He destroys all the dushkrutis, those who destroy this world, and He protects the sadhus and devotees and the innocent. So similarly, the demigods also, He is universal. They are actually taking care of the universal affairs, and they are also praying for peace and prosperity. And they are requesting a special mercy from the Lord to bestow His glance upon the demigods. So the Lord's glance is very powerful. So Lord's glance can do many, many things. So even the whole creation, the Virat from the Lord actually creates this material nature by His glance on the Mahatattva. So the Mahatattva gets agitated, and then all the universal creation starts. So the Lord's glance is Mother Kunti also. After all the prayers, Krishna just slightly glances on Mother Kunti. So His glance completely satisfies Mother Kunti, and she's completely reciprocation from the Lord comes in many ways. So His glance is very powerful. Like Brahma Samhita says that the Lord's, any of the Lord's angas, like Lord's um, senses, is equivalent of is potent of doing any other activity of those senses. So His glance can create, His glance can satisfy your heart, His glance can give prosperity, His glance has multi potent powers. So in this prayers, they are also mentioning that Lord's glance is such it is such beautiful that it is the home of goddess of fortune. So Sri Niketam. So Sri Niketam is the Sanskrit word that's the home of goddess of fortune, and Amalam Shipata Aravindam. So it's spotless, and it supersedes even the full-blown lotus flower. So Lord's eyes, again, Mother Kunti compares the Lord's eyes to the lotus flower. Similarly, here also, demigods also comparing Lord's eyes to the lotus flower here. So Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada is quoting about how this wonderful activities of so the Lord, Supreme Lord, who is the origin, who is the Adi of the entire cosmic manifestation, he is covered by the wonderful activities of material nature. And just as outer space of the illumination of sun and moon is sometimes covered by the clouds or dust. So here, so we can see the sun is so powerful. The sun's illumination is so powerful, but sun is covered by clouds, by dust. Sometimes we cannot see the rays of the sun. So similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, uh, he is the material nature, basically the Maya Shakti, the Bahiranga Shakti covers him. So Maya Javanika Channam Ajnana Adokshajam. It acts like a curtain. The Maya acts like a curtain. It covers the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is why it is difficult to find the origin of the cosmic manifestation. So, many scientists, they're still trying to understand where is the source of this cosmic manifestation, because it's so vast and so unlimited. And they do, analysis, whatever the scientists can perceive through their senses. But Shastra here says it is the Lord is, they cannot see the Lord behind this cosmic manifestation. But in order to see the Lord, the qualification is one has to come to the Sattva Guna. So that is also another qualification. The another qualification is they have to understand the Vedic literatures. So Brahma Samhita also says that Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Shundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Lord cannot be achieved through the Vedas, but one who has actually love for the Lord, one who has anointed his eyes with the love of the Lord, he can actually see the Lord. Otherwise, even through the Vedas also, it's impossible. So then we can understand that Vedas is a means to understand the Lord's tattva, but then the Lord's mercy only can happen by the love, pure love. That's only through pure bhakti. So here, Prabhupada is, glorifying the Shastra, authentic literatures like Bhagavad Gita, Vedic scriptures. They give the details on, how the Lord's tattva, Lord's, all the opulence of the Lord, the 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 beauty of the Lord, the manifestations and everything, all the details are there. So if one can understand and come to the mode of goodness through the Shastra, and then the Lord reveals himself in the heart by the process of bhakti. So this mode of goodness is so important for devotees who are following and trying to understand the Lord, because only in the mode of goodness Lord can be, Lord is visible. So tatarajas tamo bhava kamaloba dayaschaye chetayete ranaviddam sthitam sattve prashidati. So the Bhagavatam basically is establishing that sattva in our heart, so that all the rajas and tamas can be removed. So here the Maitreya Rishi is saying again, Maitreya Vacha is to Vidura, the demigods prayed and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead as sage Naranarayana. So, and then what happened? The Lord glanced upon them with mercy, and he departed to Gandhamadana hill. So here it says, Avalokai, Avalokai, like he just glanced upon them, is mercy. So the demigods prayed, and the Lord also is reciprocating here. So again, the demigods is mentioned as Evam Suragana. So Suragana is like the Devatas, Bhagavantav. So then after the Lord departs to Gandhamadana hill, now Maitreya Rishi is saying that Vidura, the same Naranarayana Rishi, is expansion who is a partial expansion of Krishna, now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru in the forms of Krishna and Arjuna to mitigate the burden of the world. So Krishna, Yadu, Kuru, Dvaha. So now we can understand that Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Nara is the part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Arjuna is representing the portion of Nara, and Krishna is representing Narayana here. So Narayana and Krishna, there is no difference. In other words, Krishna is Narayana is expansion of Krishna, and Krishna here, Maitreya Rishi is saying, is a partial expansion of Narayana. In other words, the Lord is Supreme Personality of Godhead's pastimes. So he comes with this full potency, with this entire full potency to display his pastimes, especially in the form of Krishna. So even the Sri Vaishnavas who consider Lakshmi Narayana as the supreme, they also quote that Krishna is actually the comes with the entire potency, with full potency, because he displays the Vishwarupa and he himself says in the Vishwarupa. So that's why even the Sri Vaishnava Parampara, they also accept the fact that Krishna is a complete manifestation of the full personality of Godhead. So here Maitreya Rishi is basically revealing that fact to Vidura. And another important fact is he's saying that Krishna has come to reveal the burden of the earth, from relieve the burden of the earth from all this kings who are dressed as kings, but they are creating a lot of disturbance in this earth planet. So then Maitreya Rishi is elaborating. Now he gave the details of all the 13 daughters who are married to Dharma, the Daksha's daughters. Now he is coming to the 14th daughter. The 14th daughter's name is Swaha, and she married to Agni Dev. So, and then they gave birth to 3 children, and those 3 children in turn gave birth to 45 children, and together 45 plus 3 plus Agni Dev, like his grandfather is Agni, together 49, they are all considered as Agni Devatas. So they are all fire gods, Agni Devatas. So here another aspect that we normally see in the fire sacrifice, all the fire sacrifice ends with Swaha. So here the name of Swaha is basically the wife of Agni Dev. So in all of these offerings that we offer into the fire sacrifice is being accepted by these Agni Devatas and their lineage, Pavaka, Pavamana, Suchi, all this Agni Devatas, 49, they accept these offerings that we offer into the fire sacrifice. So, and then here in this verse, it says that all of these 49 Devatas, Agni Devatas, they are the beneficiary for Vedic sacrifice. Like when impersonalist Brahmanas, Vaithanika Karmaniyan. So Vaithanika Karmani Yat. So here it says the impersonal Brahmanis, when they offer fire sacrifice, for them these 49 fire gods are the beneficiaries. So they are all attracted to this fire devatas, and then now Maitreya Rishi is talking about the 15th daughter, of Daksha, and they earlier he said that the 15th daughter was married to Pitas. So now he is giving the details that those Pitruloka Pitas were Agnishvatas, Barishadas, and Agnapas. They are the Pitas, they are mentioned here. And then, so finally, he is coming to so he is also describing their lineage, 2 daughters, Vayuna and Dharini. So, and they were all impersonalists and expert in transcendental and Vedic knowledge. So finally, the 16th daughter, whose name is Sati, and she was given married to Lord Shiva. So, and he's quoting some qualities also, Shati's qualities here. She's saying is Guna Shilataha. So she is excellent in character and qualities, and she's also mentioned as very faithful to Lord Shiva. So Bhavashya Patni. So Bhavashya Patni is Lord Shiva is again called, his another name is Bhava. So he's the entire material world is basically, is in charge. It's Bhavashya Patni tu Sati. So Bhavam Devam Anuvrataha. So here again it said that they were Anuvrataha means very faithfully engaged in his service. And he is saying, even though she is faithfully engaged in his service, she could not produce any child. She could not Atmana Sadrusham Putram. So she did not have any child. So that was, and then he is also giving the reason. So the reason is the Daksha, who's Lord, but here Sati's father, he used to rebuke Lord Shiva, even though Lord Shiva is faultless. So consequently, she left her body. It's very unique word is used here, like um, apradau atmanam, apradau eva atmana atmanam. So she gave up her own body, like atmana atmanam, by the dint of yoga samyuta. So by the yoga mystic power, she gave up her own body. It is it's like always the body is so dear, like the self is so dear to everybody. And this is the question that evokes Vidura's attention, that how is that her own father is actually rebuking her own son-in-law. How is it that she left her own body, she is so dear that this is the topic that churns into the next chapter. So here also some details that Prabhupada is revealing in the purport. Lord Shiva, he is the head of all mystic yogis. So Lord Shiva is always in the yoga ashana, he's in the ashana. He doesn't even have any residence for himself. So he's so powerful, and he's always meditating on the Lord Shankarshana, and he's always in the mood of extreme Suddha Sattva, that he cannot be even agitated by any of those, the elements of Maya. Only Lord could actually, in the form of Mohini Murti, he was attracted, but otherwise he was extremely pure, and he was always meditating on Shankarshan. And he was such a personality that he doesn't even care about constructing a residence for him. So he just rests on under a banyan tree. So Sati was a daughter of great king Daksha, and she was the youngest daughter, Daksha's youngest daughter. And she was, of course, the youngest daughter is very dear to father, and he was not very much satisfied, when Sati chose Lord Shiva, because externally Lord Shiva is appearance and his activities cannot be understood very very easily, and a person can easily find fault, because he's not looking prosperous, he's not interested in the external world, so he's completely in the internal purification, like he's totally enjoying his internal meditation with the Lord. So that cannot be easily understood. So Daksha, he was not very happy when Sati married, and also he found some at a appropriate, at a very in a point when there was a sacrifice was going on, that he actually found fault with Shiva, even though he's faultless. And he at that kind of burst his emotions and feelings, and he kind of whatever ill feelings he had in his heart, all that came out in that moment. So that's why we should never have any ill feelings towards any great personalities, and even if we have, we should correct ourselves and completely come out of that situation. Otherwise, a moment will come when it will come out of our mouth, and that will become a big offense and eventually Daksha had to lose his head and actually accept a goat head, and all that happens. So all that is going to follow in the next chapter. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Sri Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.